In the deep desert, the old travelers had a rule. When the fire burns low and the wind turns, you do not speak your fears aloud. Because something out there is listening. Something made not of flesh, but of fire. And you cannot see it. That is the whole point. The camel refuses to move. A voice calls your name from a place where no one is standing. They called them the hidden ones.
Come back to Monster Atlas. Every few nights, one creature from the world's folklore and the real things hiding behind the legend. Tonight, the Atlas Grove. Pin number 11, the Arabian Desert.
Picture a Jinn, a big blue spirit, a lamp, 3 wishes.
Right. Aladdin.
Now forget almost all of it. The real Jinn are older, stranger, and, for more than 1 billion people alive today, entirely real. So tonight the Atlas gains its 11th pin. It lands here, the Arabian desert. Ruins, thresholds, and 1,000 miles of sand. In Islam, God made the angels out of light, and man out of clay, and the Jinn out of smokeless fire.
Fire. Actual fire.
A fire that casts no smoke. They live in a world laid over our own, invisible, parallel, always just outside the edge of your eye. And here is the part that surprises people. The Jinn are not demons. They are born. They marry. They raise children, and they die.
Wait, good Jinn.
Good ones, cruel ones, and every shade between. Open the Book of Wonders, a Baghdad manuscript from the 14th century. There they are, painted like royalty, the Red King of Tuesday, crowned, riding his lion. Some of them are Muslim. They have free will, and they answer for it, the same way you do. A Jinn is not the opposite of a person. It is a mirror of one. Not all Jinn are equal. The old text sort them into a hierarchy of fire. At the top, the Emarid. Vast, proud, and bound to the sea and the storm. The wish-granting genies of legend? Those were marrieds, chained to service, and furious about it. Then the Ifrit. Wreathed in flame, winged, born of smoke and malice. The warlords of the Jinn.
That one I know. From the games.
We'll get there. Below them, the Ghoul. A shapeshifter of the wasteland. It lights false fires to lead lone travelers off the road. It takes the shape of a woman or of a friend you lost. And it does not let them leave.
That's where our word gal comes from.
Straight out of the Arabic. And last, the Qareen. The Jinn assigned to you at birth, for life. A companion you will never see, standing at your shoulder, whispering.
Everyone has one.
Everyone. Including you. Long before Islam, the tribes of Arabia already feared them. The Jinn haunted the wild places, the open desert, the ruins, the dark thresholds in between. And a poet who fell suddenly into genius was said to have one whispering the verses into his ear.
So inspiration itself was a spirit.
Every soothsayer had one. Every mad prophet. The old painters gave them turbans and thrones, and put them in the margins of the manuscripts, because to the people who drew them, the Jinn were simply part of the furniture of the world. Jinn comes from a root that means to hide, to conceal, the hidden ones. And from that same root grows the rest of the language. Jannah, paradise, the hidden garden. Janin, the unborn child, hidden in the womb. And Mynoon.
Mynoon, like the lover. Layla and Mynoon.
The very same. Mynoon means a possessed by a Jinn. To the old world, the poet, the mystic, and the madman had all been touched by the same hidden hand. So, how do you live beside something you cannot see? Carefully. Before you pour hot water down a drain, you say Bismillah in the name of God, because you cannot see what is sleeping down there. You don't throw stones into ruins. And the snake in the corner of the house? You warn it before you strike. It may not be a snake.
You warn the snake.
You warn the snake. Because almost every story of a jinn harming a person begins with a person harming a jinn and never knowing they did it. Ibn Taymiyyah, the jurist of Damascus, set it down 700 years ago. A jinn takes a person for 3 reasons: desire, plain malice, and, most often, revenge. Someone scalded them without seeing them. Someone killed one, thinking it was an animal. They don't know that you couldn't see. They only know what you did. And then the fever comes. The face twists. The leg goes numb. Not malice. A grudge.
That's not fair.
Scholars differ, by the way. Many call the hot water custom folk practice rather than scripture. But the belief holds, because it carries a moral shape most laws never manage. You are answerable for the harm you cannot see. And the ledger runs both ways. A jinn treated well can be a companion for a lifetime. They whisper verses to poets. They sit on buried treasure and guard it. Some are Muslim and pray in the empty room beside you. And where a jinn threatened the cradle, al-Sibyang, who comes for the newborn, the answer was a charm hung above it. Arabia kept the very same bargain. Only the names changed. This is the actual bronze, a Mesopotamian plaque, still in the Metropolitan Museum, cut so a frightened parent could hang it over a cot. Arabia kept the very same bargain. Only the names changed.
So they are not evil.
They are neighbours. And neighbours remember. But one man, the legends say, mastered them all. King Solomon. The Persian painters loved this scene, Suleiman on his golden throne, angels ranked on one side of him, and the jinn, kneeling, on the other. God gave him a seal ring, and with it dominion over every jinn on earth. They raised his temples. They dived for his pearls. They labored at his word.
And the ones who refused,
those he punished. He sealed the rebels into brass vessels, stamped them shut with his ring, and threw them into the sea. And there they waited. Centuries on the seabed, in the dark, in a jar. Until, every so often, a fisherman would haul up something strange in his net. A brass bottle. Still sealed. Still warm.
and open it.
And open it. There it is. The genie in the bottle. Not a fairy tale, a prison opened by the wrong hand. Imagine 3,000 years in a jar the size of your arm. Then imagine the thing that comes out, and what it thinks of the man who let it out. So where does a belief like this come from? Why fire? Why the hidden ones? The desert gives 3 answers of its own. First, the night that sits on your chest. Across the Arab world it has a name. Al-Jathum, the presser. You wake, completely aware, and you cannot move a muscle, and you are certain that something is crouched on top of you in the dark.
I have had that. That is real.
Medicine calls it sleep paralysis. The mind wakes while the body is still held down in the dream. Half the world has felt it at least once. The old world felt a jinn. Second, the mind that breaks. When a person fell into fits, or visions, or a sudden unreachable madness, there was one word for it. Majnoon. Touched by a jinn. Epilepsy. Fevered dreams. What we now call mental illness. All of it, the work of the hidden ones. And in places, still today, the healer is called before the doctor. And third, the desert simply lies to you. A pillar of dust stands up out of nothing and walks across the sand. The Zobar, they called it. A jinn on the move. Mirages that shiver into cities. A wind that says your name. In a place this vast and this empty, the mind will always fill the silence.
So that is it. It is all explained.
That is one way to hold it. Here is another. None of that explains why the answer, everywhere in Arabia, was the same answer. And Arabia is not alone. Nearly every culture built its own hidden ones. In Persia, the Div. Towering horned demons of the mountains, the old enemies of the heroes of the Shahnameh. Where a jinn can choose, a Div never can. It is chaos, and nothing else. In India, the Yaksha. Nature spirits who guard hidden treasure in the roots of the earth. Gentle, or savage, by turns, and just like the jinn, nobody can tell you which one you've met. In Ethiopia, the Tsar. Spirits that enter a person and take hold. And they are not driven out. They are soothed, with music and dancing, in ceremonies still held today.
Not exorcised, negotiated with.
And in Rome, the Genius. Not a clever man. A guardian spirit, born beside you, walking with you your whole life long.
Genius. That sounds familiar.
Hold on to that one. It is about to come all the way back around. Because 300 years ago, two words collided, the Arabic jinne and the Roman genius. A French scholar named Antoine Galland was carrying a book of Arabic tales into Europe. The 1001 Nights. He needed a French word for jinne. He reached for the one that sounded almost identical, genie. And the genie was born.
Hold on. So the two aren't even related?
Not by blood. Only by sound. A 1000-year-old accident, sealed into every wish you have ever made. And Galland went further. He added a tale the Arabic manuscripts never contained. A poor boy. A magic lamp. And the spirit inside it. Aladdin.
Aladdin isn't in the original.
An orphan story, written for Europe, which went on to become the most famous jinne on earth. The jinn went and conquered the modern world. Ifrit, blazing through 30 years of Final Fantasy. The wish-granting jinn of Magi, bound into their vessels. The jinn of the Witcher, whose granted wish binds two people together for life. The jinn of Supernatural, who don't kill you. They trap you inside a perfect life. The Ifriti of Dungeons and Dragons. The Ifrit driving a taxi through American gods. Even Sonic got one.
All of them. One desert spirit.
All of them, one desert spirit. But strip away the lamp and the wishes, and something much older is still standing there. Across the Muslim world, the jinn are not a story. They are a neighbour. Unseen, respected, and best left undisturbed. How do we file the jinn? Danger 3. They can harm, but almost never without being provoked first, and usually by someone who never knew they'd done it. Evidence 1. You cannot photograph the invisible. That is not a failure of the Jinn. It is the definition of them. Mystery 5. Their entire nature is to be hidden. It is in the root of their name.
Danger only 3. After the ghoul.
3. A Jinn you leave alone will leave you alone. Disagree? Give us your rating in the comments, and mind where you pour the kettle tonight.
Smokeless, fire, a stolen world, and a neighbour you have probably already offended. For Japan's own hidden world of foxes, ghosts and spirits, our sister channel Yokai Night is waiting. Next time, from the fire of the desert to the deep of the sea, the mermaid. Until then, keep the map closed and the fire lit.